I know what you mean. Danger is something I am a little too comfortable with myself. Reminds me of my mother. There is almost a comfort in it.
Yes, you understand. Not many can. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
What shall we chat about?
What you doing, Char?
After some intense combat, I love to unwind with video games. Clash of Hellions, maybe Warman 3, Ninja with a Shot. You're an only child, aren't you?
Yes.
I guess you'd have to be. Caretaker used to tell us about Lilith's child, not Lilith's firstborn.
Can you imagine Hunter triplets?
That would have ended poorly. Caretaker always said she could barely handle one of you.
I could be, let us say, headstrong.
I can't imagine. It always strikes me how our families define so much about us. I wouldn't be who I am without my little brother. With my parents gone, I had to grow up fast, pay the bills, keep my grades up, and provide for Gabe, no matter what.
It must be difficult to be apart. You can go if you need to. We will not think less of you.
No, it's fine. He's staying with a family friend.
You keep in touch with him, do you not?
Yeah, I try to call him every day. He's healthy, happy, and safe. It's not easy to find that balance, but you have to do it. Without family, you lose a part of yourself.
We set a new bar.
Let's talk, Hunter.
Huh. Of all the things to use magic for.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet. But I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah. I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way?
That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, The captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments? Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten.
This is which sign? The Goddess of Order approves.
Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Ugh. Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush, and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key.
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
The old magic still holds. Perhaps I should try this somewhere else. Oshter smiles upon me. An elemental rod. I should take this back to the altar. This looks like a fairy ring. Only one more to go. grave of Jeremiah Kane, another host of the Spirit of Vengeance. I wonder if he was as conflicted as Robbie is about being a Ghost Rider.
Hunter, hello. I see you found one of... If you'd like to keep going, you may... Hello, Hunter.
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the Blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible, but even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she's not buried here?
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wundagore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much. But I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the Moon Seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person?
Just another benefit of being descended from the Blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the Blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well?
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings.
Blessings of the goddess. The gods are... It is one of the elemental rods. finished.
The moon seals are ancient talismans of the old gods. And in your case, they are the keys to unlocking an even greater gift.
Is that why Wanda was here? In pursuit of this gift?
Just as we started with you as a child, I allowed Wanda to experiment here, with the hope of focusing her powers through training in basic elemental magic.
But that is not what happened.
Wanda's connection to the old gods, to Chthon, was not the same as yours. She isn't descended from the blood, and the trials weren't meant for her.
But you knew this before she started?
I did. And you should understand that I regret not putting a stop to her efforts sooner.
Then what really happened here?
When Wanda tried to use this moon seal to access the next trial, the Bloodgate didn't open. But the seal's power did have an effect. She had visions, both terrible and somehow alluring at the same time. What started as idle curiosity became a compulsion for her.
And now I am on the same path. So where is the next Bloodgate?
Beyond the Standing Stones, if memory serves. I doubt you'll have any trouble finding it. We may have woken you up to save the world, but just think where the Abbey would be without your efforts, Hunter. The magical energies flowing through the grounds are converging on the altar, drawn to it like moths to a flame.
As a child, it never occurred to me how important this altar was to you.
Where would a fabled witch be without her various accoutrements? Just as your swords are an extension of your power, so too are my altar, the cauldron, and the library.
And now that the altar has been restored?
It's time we start using them to our advantage. Come by the library tomorrow night, and we'll conjure something together. Oh, and thank you again for the help, dear.
You have not set anything on fire today, have you?
Can that really be you? After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only.
Wait! Mother! Where did you... Was that really her?
Don't feel bad, Hunter. I'm just the best video game player ever. Oh my gosh, I should live stream in Ghost Rider 4. Oh my god, I could break the internet.
You wanted to speak, Carol?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks.
Thanks for what?
For surprising me with your unexpected friendship. I did not see that coming. Believe it or not, I don't have a lot of peeps I can call friends. Not close ones, at least.
If it makes you feel any better, I never had a lot of friends either. Did not have time with all the demon slaying.
Yeah, like that high school vampire slayer in that show Nico made me binge watch with her. Gifted with greatness, but cursed with solitude.
No, that character had a group of close friends who helped and supported her.
See? Even the Slayer had more of a social life than the two of us. I'm glad you're here, Hunter. I feel like you get just how heavy all that extra baggage can be when it comes to having crazy freaking superpowers.
Reminds me of a French quote.
Give me the dubbed version, please. My French is only the pardonable kind.
It roughly translates to, "Great responsibility is the inseparable consequence of a great power."
It sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy now. Anyway, I should let you get back to whatever cool thing you were doing before I dragged you out here to get all gushy.
Anytime, Carol.
Hunter, I have a feeling we're gonna go on lots of adventures together. What's happening, Hunter?
Oh, you are gonna love this. Give me a sec. Okay, what's up? What do you think? Later. Thanks, Hunter.
I still say we should have built a firing range first. Yeah, I had my eye on that too. Time's wasting, Hunter.
Let's see if you're as...
I've got a kid I send on missions sometimes.
Hey, Hunter. When you've got a minute, could you meet me in the war room? The intel cache we recovered from Hydra's gunship might seem sophisticated to the casual bystander, but they probably weren't expecting to go up against the likes of me. With Central's help, I can decrypt these babies in no time, providing us a valuable and fascinating glimpse into Hydra's twisted little minds. What's the latest intel? This won't take long. This stuff is actionable. Now that we've decrypted the intel, let's put what we've learned to good use. Check out the available hero ops listed on Central. I think I can handle that. This should keep...
I'm here if you need me. Hunter, my second favorite zombie superhero.
Who is your first?
Tony, on 2 hours of sleep. So, what do you need?
I have questions for you.
Sure, ask away.
Tell me about yourself, Carol.
What in particular?
Who were you before you became Captain Marvel?
Air Force pilot. I used to fly the unfriendly skies before I was attached to the space program. And back then, I was entirely human.
You are not entirely human?
Not since I uncovered actual, for real aliens. There was an accident with some alien tech that rewrote my DNA, and now I'm half Kree.
I have never heard of the Kree.
Neither had I. They have a space empire. It's crazy to think they've been around far longer than you've been alive.
How did Carol Danvers become Captain Marvel?
During my time with the space program, I found myself involved in a conflict between alien species, Kree and Skrulls. I got too close to a device called the Psyche Magnetron, and it completely altered me. A Kree soldier known as Mar-Vell felt responsible for what happened and took me under his wing. He was a hero in his own right, and we fought beside each other for years. He's gone now, but I took the name Captain Marvel as a tribute to what he stood for. Since then, I've made the name my own.
Your strength is hard for me to fathom.
With all this gamma weirdness keeping Banner in banner form, I'm Earth's mightiest Avenger. Once Thor realized the Hulk was in a class of his own, he was not happy to be in third place. He still challenges me to arm wrestling contests, and loses. He's much less salty since I started calling him Asgard's mightiest Avenger.
How powerful would you say you are?
When someone says we need to call in the big guns, they're talking about me. Just don't say it in front of Bruce. The Hulk is an order of magnitude stronger, no question. But he doesn't have my precision, patience, or reliability. At least, that's how Bruce put it.
That much power, and it does not seem to have gone to your head.
I do get cocky sometimes, but I don't take any of this for granted, and I always remember where I came from. Arrogance is like punching the afterburner with your wheels down.
Tell me about the Avengers.
Sure, what about us?
How long have you been an Avenger?
Over a decade. Still hard to believe. We've been so busy dealing with one crisis or another, it's hard to mark the time. My coffee tally puts me just shy of 20,000, excluding the cups I forgot to track.
What are your thoughts on your fellow Avengers?
I'm with the team for a reason. I believe in what we do. All of us do. I'm sure you've noticed Tony can be abrasive, but I never doubt his commitment. He and Banner used to fight like cats in a sack. Thankfully, they seem to be past that. And I can't think of anyone better to deal with a mystical enemy than Doctor Strange. He's a little out of sorts right now, what with being pushed out of his home, but he'll adjust.
Do you think your team can find common ground with the Midnight Suns?
Look, I try not to get involved in team politics. I'll work with anyone who gets the job done. I don't care what team they're from.
Do all the Avengers feel the same?
No comment.
Thank you, Carol.
Anytime. And hey, if you find the time, we should hang out.
I will consider that.
Of course.
Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me. And you did it anyway.
The world is at risk of being consumed by Lilith. We cannot afford to leave any stone unturned, even if it means upsetting you.
It's not my feelings I'm worried about. The last time I gave someone free rein at the library, it cost us dearly. I'm not sure we can handle any more unexpected calamities around here.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. Don't leave poor Spider-Man waiting too long now.
Let's do this. See you around. Hunter.
How's it going?
Hello, my sweet girl.